Nyantechwa maybe I'm discovered for Europe akuma busuya for Ghana no me use tap send no fee mobile money transfer easy convenient fast and sounds so free won't you she me discover ye mapim tap send intienne also download the tap send app no ever mobile phone so free na fesika komo busuya for Ghana fa na nyina tap send papa no
check now. Check it. The beat is real. Don't wait, make it kill ya. Get your green select glucometer and check it. Sugar level, check it. Green select glucometer, check it. Sugar level, check it. Reselect glucometer. Everybody check now.
This advert has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Emre tudo nani etena ka mu kwanten akotonyo mabegu ye shop mu se ubenya ni nyina ofako enno so ya asem foforo o so to mfa akosika swane ne mpatamu anase achimota la pass ekosi nsawam. Jimmy Dale is your one-stop shop distribution for wholesale and retailers. Safa drinks, insure, enyane, anasa ade bia wo pebia. So ukoton kwa dia enye bebia wo se wutu mu a Jimmy Dale. You can locate Jimmy Dale Ventures at Giga Junction inside Soto. Or call us now on 0208-920-996. Jimmy Dale Ventures, the official sponsor for Sammy Flex TV.
All right, so we have gathered again here on Sammy Flex TV, and I believe you know that when we gather like this, then we are here for one agenda. The agenda is to discuss all the pertinent issues and not the petty issues in our showbiz space. That's why we are always positive on what we discuss. My name is Sammy Flex. Welcome to Showbiz Daily here on Sammy Flex TV. And this is the people's show, the world show, the show that everybody is talking about, no matter where you are in the world. With my charges, Roland Amate already in your shot, blogger, promoter, talent manager, event person, and that Reagan also in the middle, call him Beef Nation president. He's also a journalist, a promoter, and a talent manager. And Kojo King, the man from Greenville Records, he's your marketing executive pundit and a songwriter discovered by Epixode. So yesterday, Epixode confirmed that he discovered Kojo King. He said, Kojo, I'm going to perform me, up and coming for performing Kojo, so I'll be performing. Kojo baby. Kojo the popular, don't a baby show. Yesterday, the guy said, I'm going to find background process. Yesterday, the guy said that, Epixode wants Kojo to pass through the You go feel that. Are you really going through the underground process? Life no balance. But have you been underground? Now where you are now, you don't even know where to place. Are you underground? No, I'm a A-list. The A-list. No, but it's difficult to place Kojo. How is it? That would be saying. But Kojo is known. How can I say how? Known how? Known how? In the entertainment industry, he's not known for music. He's an underground artist. Person. Yes. Do you know him? I know him as a journalist. Underground guy is that guy in not TV. Exactly. No, I don't know him for music. It doesn't matter. What two words? Let's see you. Wait. Let's do it right. You see, as we day here in the studio, then some boy comes in and say, "What's your name?" Say, "My name is Kapula 2. Kapula 2, what do? You do music. Okay. Have you heard Kapula 2 before?
No.
Yes. Kapula 2 to use an underground artist.
Then Sarkodie is an underground artist somewhere. Because
Yes,
it is not
yes,
anybody that knows Sarkodie.
yes.
Then Kojo is an underground artist. Who? Somebody doesn't know Kojo.
Of course. Not you, we are saying you.
No, to even those watching.
And no, we are talking about the industry in Ghana.
Yes.
He can't be known as
No, but he is known
even in the industry.
as a pundit,
yes.
a blogger.
So when he starts doing music,
marketer.
it doesn't make him an underground artist.
Wait. You see somebody like Daniel Panka. You see somebody like Daniel Panka. Charlie Boo, and the rest. Because they don't have very popular hit songs, like so many hit songs. Even some people even have difficulties in placing them, even in the A-list category or even B-list.
Who do you mention?
Opanka.
Oh, you see those people who do that. It is just a matter of
course.
fooling. Oh yeah.
Of course.
Some of the comedians do that. They mention Opanka. Like, how can you say Opanka is another Ghana artist?
No,
Recently,
I am not talking about
recently when Eric Tosca even put out that he is looking for new discoveries for 2022. Do you know some people wrote Epixode's name?
And I make a say. So no,
those people, if it's not fooling, how
the way I could do, the way I could do A-list. A-list.
No. Forget about A-list. But what I mean is that you can't describe Kojo as underground. Then you are in this industry.
So will it be wrong if any of our award schemes nominate Kojo as new artist of the year? Or
yes.
It will be wrong.
No, it will not be wrong. But
then discovery is also not wrong.
No. You see, you are not getting it too. Discovery is now the definition they use for discovery and those things. When you got your first break.
Okay.
Yes, now that's the definition most of them use.
And so he said discovery.
But that's why they say that somebody could be around. But until the person gets his first break, he is not a discovered artist. So when he gets his first break, then he becomes a discovered artist. But it is not underground. Oh, yes. Underground is not known.
Atia is the
one verse of
Jesus. If it was a feature on someone's song, is it not a big song?
It is.
I'm with you, but don't underestimate that Atia hit.
I am not underestimating it, but as it stands, it is not a record yet.
I release my banger.
It's a record banker. You release your banker.
My banger. The way people are insulting me on TikTok.
So that's just by the way. Kojo is still making waves. You guys should just take your time. It is just a matter of time. You come to understand the process.
Yes.
As it stands now, we all know that Kojo is yet to get that big break. But in the industry, you cannot describe Kojo as an underground artist.
No, he is not an A-list artist.
He is not an A-list artist.
Not even B-list artist.
No. No, he's not. He's not B. Yeah, he's a discovered artist.
I know she
No, he's a discovered. D is discovered. D is discovered. Now, let's do this. If your talk says that he was feeling nervous performing with Stormzy, how do we understand him, or how does he, in terms of performances, how do we understand him? One, he's performed on several stages before. Your talk has been on so many stages before. He has performed on big stages. He's seen mammoth crowd before. But for the first ever time getting the opportunity to perform with Stormzy at the Global Citizen Festival, the man has said in an interview in London that he was feeling nervous. How does it mean, or how do we understand it? Let's go watch the video. When I come back, I'll pick the views of my panel members. Then we start the show. But you can be part of it. Show produced by Emmanuel Fowi Lapiji. Camera person is Emmanuel. Currency with Digital Rasta, Richie Flex is the editor director, and Gideon Neelam is our creative director. And I know you are also at the other side, you are part of the show. So join us with your comments, join us with your shares, and like our video. We want to read from you as well, just as you have been doing. Let's go watch the video of Yao Talk saying that he was nervous ever performing first with Stormzy. Why should it be like that? Let's go watch it. I'll be back.
Before I came on stage, right, I was a little bit nervous because I was like, of course, I'm on my first time performing Stormzy. How was it the first? Before I came on stage, right, I was a little bit nervous because I was like, of course, I'm on my first time performing Stormzy. How was it the first time? No, my second time, but I wasn't. No. I remember I was there for the first time. The first time, yes, yeah. The first time I wasn't really big. Like it was just a I was DJing at that party. Yeah, and no one knew Stormzy was there. Stormzy, that was our first performance. Yes, I remember. So Global Citizen was the second one. Right. So I was still nervous though. Right. Okay. Yeah, I was like, these people. Let's see. Yeah. Then I prayed to God and said, let's get it. Right. Yeah. So when I came on this, I was like, ooh. What happened? Break it down. I was shocked though, for real. Because I saw a lot of people like, it's like, come on, let's get it. So when I heard a drop, I was like, let's go. And everyone knew the song, of course. Yeah, right? Everyone knew it. Wow. The whole place. And then Stormzy came out and what happened? It's different, bro. You know, Stormzy got the sauce, you know. Yeah, of course. Everything was different. Question, I forgot a lot of love as well. Yeah, of course. Beautiful. Before I came on stage, right, I was a little...
Yeah, I'll talk speaking some British love. Because so you are a performer. How do you understand your talks nervousness feeling?
Okay, so as an artist or performer, it is normal to be nervous, and at times
with someone you are used to.
Someone you are used to. Yes, it might not necessarily be from the nervousness, might not necessarily be from the fact that he's performing with Stormzy.
No, but that's how he said.
Yes, as in the stage, everything surrounding the performance. So it would depend on what got him at the time.
The reason I don't want to believe it is about everything surrounding the performances. This guy just came from Germany when he did that tour with Santrophy Band. Look at the audience. I'm sure they were bigger than what we saw here.
Yes.
And this were even a different audience. White people.
Yes.
Than to perform to your own people.
Yes, that is why I'm saying the circumstances, because, for instance, okay, I'm out there. The kind of people I'm with, maybe Santrophy, the kind of rapport that I will have with them. Probably they will be at the hotel vibe before they even come onto the stage. So and things that you go through, yes, even backstage before you come on stage can boost your confidence or whatever. But coming down here, yes, he's performing with, that is their second time performing with Stormzy.
What was that?
He said he's the second. I think he went to UK, yes, and they performed over there.
I think in a club.
In a club, right? And now they are coming here.
In the club they perform.
Oh no, he even said it in the video. That's the second time that they are performing together. But coming to global, the global citizen stage, it's not a joke. It's a very huge stage, and at times it is not only about just the crowd that you see. Crowd can get you nervous when you enter and you see the ambience, the whole everything is set, and at times to the magnitude of the stage. Maybe you've been mounting platforms, but how even the stage is designed, how big it is, how spacious it is, it can even get you scared. And what maybe before he was mounting the stage, some of the conversation maybe he was having can also even get him scared. That is why you have managers, when artists are about to go to stage, they get closer to them, speak a word or two just to motivate them to go out there and fire. And one thing, if you remember, when the song played, the way the crowd responded, if you don't take care, you'll be shocked. Because you know the song is a bang, but at times different audience gives different reactions. Yeah. So the way they will scream at the song and you remember, Stormzy played a lot of songs, but when he get to that song, the way the movement of the crowd in response to that song was so great. So it can get you nervous. And also, yes, the fear that I might not kill it. You know, this is Stormzy, and he knows that performing with Stormzy gets a different eyeballs out there. So the fear that I may not even kill it. It's also there. And we cannot forget about the fact that recently the guy came back and was like, he went through certain spiritual attacks and difficulties that nearly clamped him down and stuff. So I think after that and getting a major stage like Global Citizens,
will I be able to kill it? Will I live up to what I've always dreamed to be? So all these factors comes with nervousness. You can be an established artist, played so many platforms, but maybe a smaller platform can even make you nervous. And the circumstances are different because it could be psychological. For instance, let's say Asha coming to Ghana maybe for the first time. It can create some sense of nervousness with other factors coming to play. You have seen a lot of crowd, mounted a lot of stages, but different factors can play to get you nervous as an artist. So I don't think you can ever overcome it. Yes, with experience, you can know that, okay, when you see a larger crowd, this is how you behave. That is why some of them can even go and use drinks and alcohol and other substances just to take away exactly. But there will be that one time that you can feel the sense of nervousness, and it comes with even performing with other bigger artists. If right now you are to perform with a certain Jay-Z or Beyonce, you are thinking of what to do to make you also significant. What to do that after everything, the conversation will also favor you. So that sense of trying to even outlive yourself and impress can even get you nervous. But you have to always be at the level like, oh, this is what I've been doing. Okay. Go and kill it. It is normal. It is nothing different from what you've been doing. Okay. Whatever you have planned, go there and kill it and deliver. So we also call for psychologists in that sense, that if your manager is somebody that is well experienced, he will know that at different events what to do strategically to position the artist psyche very well, prepare. Can you even look into the eyes of your artist and read that there's some sense of nervousness? I think managers who are well experienced and know their artists, who can look into the eyes of their artists maybe few minutes before an event and know that no,
the guy is not feeling good.
Then you get closer, you give him a tap and know that Charlie, go and kill it, and the artist will also be revived. So I think I understand him from where he's coming from.
Okay, Nana Regan, thank you, Kojo. Nana Regan, coming from there, how did he also understand it?
I'm not surprised he's saying that. Looking at how Yautog has personally, picked Stormzy as his as a music god be of a sort. So definitely, if you are going to appear on stage with him, especially in Ghana, when you know after the show, after the performance, there can be commentaries here and there. You want to impress. You want to make sure that your act with him is 100% on point. So that thinking might bring that nervousness feeling. So I am not surprised he went through it, but I'm happy he spoke to himself like, let's go and kill it, let's go and do it, and he went on stage and did his own thing, and at the end of the day their act was very, very beautiful. I think we've spoken about their performance and it wasn't that bad. So yes, the nervousness will come, especially even in our initial days from my segment, Beef Nation segment with you to Showbiz Daily. I was also going through it, even though I've been on radio, I've been on TV and other things. But having the mindset that you are sitting with Sammy Flex, so everybody is expecting you to be at a certain level. Then definitely, if you don't take care, the nervousness might even carry you away and you might be messing up. So once you know what you're also about and you build up your confidence, and then everything will flow.
But I'm looking at it from this way. Yautog, this is not his first time facing a crowd like this. He's been facing it. And I know his relationship with Stormzy is not that shyos into brackets, shyos type. Like Stormzy is always closer to him, vibing with him. So where is the nervousness coming from?
I think,
is it lack of confidence as a performer? Because as a performer, I'm sure seeing a crowd should rather give you that energy and the positivity you need. So if you have all these things, coupled with the fact that the guy you're coming to perform with is vibey, then why are you nervous?
I don't think it's lack of confidence. I mean, he's growing on the game, and I want to believe he has built on his confidence very well when it comes to performance. But I think that it is his thinking about his relationship with Stormzy and where he mounts stage with him. It was the first time in Ghana, performing with Stormzy, the first time in Ghana. And he knows how Ghanaians talk after events and all of that. So those kind of factors can come up, and if he thinks about it, it will bring him that nervousness. But I mean, of course, he has performed. When you go outside and you are doing something with Stormzy or any artist, because you know that place is a new environment, and also want to believe that those people know a lot, like they appreciate artists a lot than maybe you where you are coming from. You feel free to put up your A game, and then you are done. But here you know that everybody is like that one share as everybody is looking at you and Stormzy performing, and what are they going to say after me and Stormzy on stage? And he knows what he has been through with some of these conversations in our space. So that thing, I am very sure that thing was what was running through his mind and was bringing him that nervousness. Right? It wasn't lack of confidence.
Well, Beef Nation President, thank you. Roland will finish up on this topic.
Yes, I mean, being nervous is psychological, and it happens to anybody. It can happen to anybody at any point in time, no matter your experience. I'm saying no matter your experience because even not long ago, I remember Lex's show, Took You to Be Mute. I was backstage with him, and at a point, I had the opportunity of, because I was coordinating from backstage to even the front gate, I was just moving to and fro. So I knew what was happening in and around the auditorium. But he being backstage at a point was very nervous. At a point, he got so nervous that he didn't even know what to do. I overheard him asking Charlie.
So, what was causing that?
So to him, he was prepared for the show. He was completely apt for the show. But what got him nervous was the fear of the unknown, as to how the crowd is going to receive him. The whole circumstances that came with the show. He heard somebody told him about what happened at the gate and the fact that it rained. So the fear of him not even knowing the number of people in the auditorium got to him. So when I heard him asking somebody, Charlie, how is the auditorium like? So I quickly had to jump in and tell him, Charlie, everybody did there. Everybody is calm waiting for you. Because he was
not sure the tickets were sold. No, that was the cause of the nervousness.
Yes, and at a point in his mind, because of the rains, he also thought that okay, the rain would also be a factor. Sack people from coming into the show. So at a point, and he didn't have the opportunity to peep even into the main auditorium to see how many people were in there.
Because the guy did not want him to.
Yes. And he can't, because of the way the stage was designed. The moment he pulls out his head, everybody will know yes, he is there. So that even got him, and at a point he was just agitating like that. So I had to go and tell him, Charlie, be calm, everybody is there. And this is somebody that's just performed today, even the president.
He has been doing it.
He has been doing it, climbed so many stages, gone to Nigeria and come back. But then it's one of those things. It's one of those things. So even at the highest level, sometimes people get nervous and they don't show it in their act because of experience. The only thing that can make somebody go away with being nervous and nobody would see is just mere experience. If you and it will not even, it can even happen to you even at your peak. Sometimes, like what you said, it can be okay. You've seen so many crowds, you've been on so many big platforms, but then something small,
you have been exposed to some new thing,
something that you don't even you have no idea how the outcome would be, can even get you nervous. So you that is where you hear even some of our top artists or top celebrities saying that, Charlie, they fear some presenters. They fear, yes, they are not comfortable when they get close to some presenters or some journalists or some entertainment people, because the fear of not knowing the outcome of what that encounter will bring even sends shivers into their spines. And it is like that. Sarkodie has said it, Shatta Wale has always said it, the likes of Stonebwoy, So this is not something new, and I am glad Yaotog knows this at this early age. He knows that it comes with a job. And you see, the Global Citizen Festival stage, yes, we know Yaotog just came back from a tour which he's seen almost similar crowd, even
bigger crowd
than this one. But
that
then,
one I saw from Germany, Charlie, that was huge.
But then you see the circumstances surrounding his performance. This is somebody that is already in the act. Stormzy was in the act, was on stage, killing it back to back from his entry to the time, and the fact that you hear the kind of conversations around while Stonebwoy has come, sent the bar into the skies. This person came, killed it. Stormzy, and you know Stormzy was playing live.
Yeah, he did.
Stormzy was playing live, and even though Yao Talk rehearsed with him, they rehearsed without the crowd.
I think Yao Talk is also getting the live thing.
Yes.
They didn't play. They did a
playback.
The song they didn't play live.
So for the set with Stormzy,
yes,
they did not play.
They started with the playback, but when it was time for Stormzy to rap, they paused the playback and they played live from there.
Exactly.
Yes, they played live from Stormzy's part.
Wow.
Yes.
You confirm that?
You can go back and watch the video.
The whole song played.
Yes,
as
the
in
intro.
DJ played.
Yes,
but when it was time for
Stormzy, it was paused and they played. So it was synced. It was synced in there. Kwesiata, I'm not sure, but for your talk, I know part for a fact because
you're gonna watch it. You're gonna watch that part again. Yeah.
So that is another conversation, and the fact that when they rehearsed, they didn't even rehearse with the crowd. So even the roar from the crowd can even send shivers in your spine, and it is normal. So if Yao Talk says he felt nervous on a global stage with Stormzy, it's normal. So I'm just praying that with time he will be able to overcome and know whenever it hits him what to do.
I also want to add that as performers, you need to build your confidence no matter what. Even as radio people, TV people, and as pundits. If you are not careful, sometimes you go to a certain studio and you'll be caught by that feeling. Some people come to some studios and their face, no matter what you do, they will make a mess of themselves until they become acclimatized or used to that environment. And I think the only thing that you can use to beat that is confidence. Knowing that, oh, what I'm going to do, I'm going to kill it. It's not going to be a bother. Then you can fire. But if you go in, because sometimes if you are a new like presenter and you move to a new station, you're going to start your first show.
And especially if the gadgets are.
If you don't build, come like, oh, this thing is nothing. Oh yeah, I bet you is here. And see, it's your first show. Everybody is watching how you guys flow. So first is to build your confidence. That one day, if you don't build it, one day you make a mess of yourself. So that done, let's move on to story number 2. And I've seen a documentary from TV3. And this documentary, when I saw it, I laughed. I was asking myself, like, can people be serious in this country at all? An agency called people to do a political advert for the New Patriotic Party. After they have done the advert, the people who were used in the advert on their billboards and I think their videos, they are getting some frustrations from fans and from those who think that the government is not functioning for them. There is a video like that where a documentary TV3 put out is telling the story of a young man who was captured on some billboards for New Patriotic Party, advertising or campaigning for the last general and presidential elections. Fortunately, the party they advertised for won. And according to the gentleman, who I hear is even a teacher, people don't let him sleep. Every day when they meet him in town, if you go do advert for MPP, you see the way they tire, and they are chasing him all over. Now the shocker is the fact that the agency that used him paid him just 300 Ghana cedis. 300 Ghana cedis. I've seen another post from somewhere who is saying the agency paid 1,000 cedis, and the conversation is basa, 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 basa. Let's go watch the video from TV3, giving them credit for this. Then when I come back, I ask that, what went wrong? Should we blame the agency? Should we blame the person involved or the people involved? Or we can also bring the party in for not following up to know that the right things were done, so their name of a party won't be dragged in the mud in the near future. Let's go watch it. When I come back, we start talking.
Some SHS students, training nurses, NAPCO beneficiaries, and farmers were the faces of the NPP campaign ahead of the 2020 general elections. They appeared on various billboards. One of them with the inscription, "Remember me, my livelihood depends on your votes," had the face of a 35-year-old teacher. Nicholas says his life is under threat.
My major challenge is the threat. So anytime I have to go out, I have to put on the nose mask and sometimes the cap and that, so that I have to disguise myself. So sometimes I'll be in the room, Saturday, Friday, I'll be in the room, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, without going out. Because I'm afraid if I step out, I don't know what will happen to me. The moment they see you, then they are angry. They wanted to beat you because you are the part of the reason why they are suffering. So sometimes they will call you, that you, Yechiwa, this is what we want to do to you. So sometimes my wife will ask me, like, when you are going, if you have the money, just take Uber then go out.
According to the senior high school teacher, he wasn't told his face would be on a political billboard. He says he was given a paltry 300 cedis.
Ask her to get people who are into this or who are on the narco scheme, so that they will take their pictures for magazines and calendar. And after the picture, they will just give you 300 cedis. After the picture, then I asked them about the money. And they said, oh, the following day, they will get me the money. So I shouldn't worry. So we all left like that. So the next morning, or in the afternoon somewhere, then he called me that I should meet him at Amasama Lorry Station for the money. So I went there. So all I could see, she pulled a paper from the bag and asked me to sign before the money will be given. And I said, what is that? So I read the information on the paper. And it was about, you have been allowed yourself to be used on commercials, both television, the billboard, and any other. So I was very angry. So that very moment I didn't sign, because I told them they should have let me know before I took the picture and that. So I left him over there. I came home, and my wife also told me that now the woman that lent me the 800 is to pay and get a job. Also is also worrying me to get the money. So you don't have any choice. So you have to go and sign like that, and that is the country we live in. So go and sign and get that 300 cedis. Because whether you sign or you don't sign, your picture is already there, and we use it. So I went and he asked me to meet him in Sakina, Amasama, one of the suburb areas. So I went there and signed, and I took that 300 cedis. So just after that, 2 months to the election, then my friends started calling me from Kumasi, the East region, and that they have been seeing me on social media. My picture is all over. It's like I'm full MPP man. So now I'm a big man.
Okay, so that was the story as was narrated by the young man who is now a teacher, and the fact that he says family pressure from his neighborhood, friends, classmates, colleagues, everybody disturbing him. In fact, he even said at a point his landlord was ejecting him, and people were saying that, you've been used by a political party for their campaign. How come your landlord will eject you because of non-payment of rent? Meanwhile, he blamed the agency not being truthful to him and the agency not paying him much. Not long ago, we also heard the story of Akiat. What was the name of the Akiat, right? Okay. Yeah. Say again? Let me. Okay, confirm. Akiat or something like that. Kirani Ayat. Who was also saying that the Ghana Tourism Authority used his song for a video documentary or a video advert that they did, and again he was also not treated well. According to the GTA, who also responded later, said, oh, it was an agency who gave them the right to use this, and blah 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 blah. How are we solving this, especially the case of this young man and maybe others who were also featured on the billboards for NPP? Nana Reagan, let me start this with you. And where do we put the blame?
Maybe I'll start with the agency.
Okay.
Because normally it is the agency that negotiates with, I won't even say the party, but the party rep. Because what I know one thing for sure, that the parties don't pay like celebs and other people. Sometimes it is individuals in the party that will say, okay, I want to dedicate this money for you people to go and do this project, blah, blah, blah. Let's support the party's campaign. So I don't know who they were dealing with, but I am very sure, or I want to believe that there was some money given to the agency to make sure these things happen. But knowing Ghana and Ghanaians, the kind of mentality we all have in always making sure that we beat our brothers to survive. This is some of the results we will always be seeing. Where if somebody has even gone to take even 3 million, they will come and give you 25,000. And the 25,000, they will only send you 10,000 and the rest, it won't come. So it is very, very unfortunate that sometimes in issues and cases like this, we can't really follow it and go down to fish out who was the representative of the party, who did the negotiations with the agency, how much was given to the agency to sort out these guys, and what happened and why they paid them 300 Ghana cedis. Because I don't want to believe the negotiation, even between the agency and the political parties rep, will be 300 cedis for. Never. It will not. It will never happen. Never. I have been in. And there's a billboard we are talking about here. I've been thousands of Ghana cedis. I have been in similar positions or have similar experiences before. Sometimes even vixen in somebody who is also passing through as a dancer in a music video for a political party. Sometimes the budget is like 10,000 between the agency and the political party, or whoever is negotiating with the political party's rep. Sometimes amounts are mentioned from like 5,000, 10,000 each. Even for the actors? Yes, for the actors. But at the end of the day, when the person walks out of the office of that political party's rep, then his business or his smart business moves starts. Then he will come and call you. Sometimes they will even tell you, oh, when we went there, they said the video is okay, but they don't have any money for us. So they will give you stories and act like when they went there, they did not get even 1 cedi. So the person is trying to do something to support the thing. So is nothing. Then you maybe, if you are not influential and you don't know anybody, you will go and sleep. You won't get anything. So he is even fortunate he got 300 cedis. He is very fortunate. Because some of our... How about those who are also chasing him? The threats and other things. I mean, such nonsense must stop. I mean, it doesn't give people the room to associate themselves with political parties, and it's bad. Whether we like it or not, we will all associate ourselves with one political party at a time. During election years, based on what you are going through or how life has treated you, you want to be with a certain political party. So those who are chasing him, that his face is on a MPP billboard. So tomorrow, if you campaign in your own corner for NDC and NDC also come up and they mess up, we should be chasing you. Is that like how we want to live our lives? I mean, it's we shouldn't tolerate it. It's very, very bad. It is just like taking their political rights from them, and we should condemn it. It's not a good thing. Let's see. Ro.
I would want to blame the agency first and the gentleman in question second. The agency, because
the one who has been dipped.
Oh yes.
You blaming him too?
Oh yes. How? You see, the timidity in this country is so much. You see, sometimes we should not encourage this. We only think that we only get a voice if you only have a voice when you are influential, but you don't know where that influential position starts from. No, but it is true. You only get a voice in Ghana when you are influential. Yes, but some people. Are you sure this guy, until he met the TV3 reporter, are you sure he had not mentioned it before? And he had mentioned, I'm sure he had mentioned it. Everybody who's close to him. And the fact that he only was lucky he met a TV3 reporter. And the fact that he's a teacher and he feared that whether or not he signs, they still have his picture and they would use it anyway, makes me even more disappointed in him. then what happened to the education he has about the law? Then
they will use it.
No, they can't use it.
They will use it.
No, even if they do,
no. For that one,
even
for that
if they
one,
do,
Roland is right.
Even
but
if they
it was the ignorance of the guys that killed him.
Exactly.
Yes.
Even if they
like lack of knowledge, my people perish. So that one, Roland is right. If you have told them that no, if I'm not comfortable with this, I won't sign. Don't use it. He had that right. That one, he had the right.
But
he couldn't use the right. He made the first argument that when they came to him, they said it was for a calendar and what, and a magazine. That's the first thing they told him. So even per how do we call it, verbal agreement, they have a certain agreement standing. That is for a calendar and whatever they were going to use. Flyers and not billboard. So if you come again with a different, how do we call it, contract, with different details, then he has every right to renegotiate.
That one he had it.
Yes, so he cannot come and tell
the thing, I'm not saying what you are saying is wrong. It is right, but the thing I'm saying is that he will still have lost because the agency will still talk or give the people that feedback that everything has been sorted out, knowing very well that you can't come back and fight. And looking at this guy, like you are saying, if it is not because of the TV3 reporter, nobody would have known about this story.
You see, that is the timidity I'm talking about. We always feel that because nobody knows us, we like going.
Unless you are ready and prepared and heavy to fight a legal fight, you will not win.
See, now he's not fighting any legal fight because he feels he's been threatened. It has been able to force him to certain corners. We are in this country where people even going to interview people and obit me assume say, hey, YouTube na they work on here, they work on this guy. And at once you won't need maybe any part of then the person automatically knows their way to the radio station or TV station, starts broadcasting, and you think the person doesn't become influential even with that process. It is true. If the guy says, oh, I won't sign, and tomorrow he wakes up and his face is on a billboard, and you think he doesn't have the power to walk to any radio station, and they will not. This is a huge content.
No, it's not.
This is a huge.
It's not about a matter of walking to a.
Yes, it was ignorance.
Let me give you a clear example. A clear example is this guy, this artist, Wale's case. He is very influential. In fact, he was fighting his own fight on social media. It came into the media. Everybody was talking about it. Some of us supported it, led the thing. And it did not, as we are sitting now, what happened? He did not get any compensation. He has come back to complain, did stories in the media that the NDC did not give him anything. As at now, even after when Rexoma and Baba Sadi came on radio to say they were going to compensate. So what we are saying is that what my point is, if you are ready and you know you have that legal muscles to fight, then don't sign it. Tomorrow, if you see your picture on any billboard, you inform your legal team, you take them to court. You take the agency to court. Simple as that. But not about media conversation.
The beauty of this situation is that
you still lose.
He is not dealing with the political party. He is dealing with an agency.
But he can mention them any day.
Yes.
He can mention them any day, and the political party
will fish out the agency, just like Irani Ayat's case. When he mentioned the ministry and the government, they were able to bring out the agency for them to even come and release their statement. That's it. That's the way to go. Let's not tell people that because we don't know you or because you are not known, you can't fight. For all you know, if he had come, if that was the situation, and he did not sign and they had used his picture, probably him coming out to say it would even win a lawyer's heart or an agency's heart for them to go and fight on his behalf. Sometimes let's not encourage people to act out of ignorance. It doesn't happen that way. And the fact that you make your picture until you think anybody can use, you see, it is that understanding that even the whole ministry feels that it is even a normal, say, oh, even an artist, I use your intellectual property and it is on that. Out of that ignorance, we are not willing to learn. We are not willing to learn what the ethics of whatever we are practicing. So as much as I want to blame the agency, the gentleman also has a part to play.
Ignorance is really a disease, and I'm sure Roland knows all up to it. If you are ignorant, it's really painful. Because that guy could have been in charge of this whole case. Obia knew how power to control the case than himself. And then he said, "I'm the billboard first day when you come and say, hey, Maybe about that way and Jamaica and social media will even fight for you. But he didn't know.
I did an ad for Richoku. Initially, the initial amount somebody buy, the agreement was different. When it was after shooting, Omodi paper nankasa complete agreements never and I sign. Even with my manager and I realized that some of the details were different. I had to renegotiate and tell it took about 3 months for renegotiation. It was through me, the manager, the agency, and the company. Before I started, because even the years was supposed to be 1 year, but they are through 2 years. So I had to go and renegotiate again. And because of that, they still couldn't use it until we had to finalize everything and sign.
Well, Kojo will come through. Thanks, Roland.
I said, damn it, which lecturer? I don't know too far. You do 3.
Yeah, you say Seattle.
Roland, I say where is coming from. Yes, me, I'll blame the political party straight.
Political party?
Of course. And it tells you the kind of people who come to us to give them the mandate to rule over the country. They don't care about anything. Once, whatever.
Why do I want to come into this argument too early?
Oh, come! I know you come. I know you come.
Because I'm looking at myself like, okay, this is Sammy Flex.
Yeah.
One of my staff members comes to tell me, boss, I'm going to buy a laptop. How much is the laptop? He says 2,000. I give him 2,000. He goes out there and he doesn't buy a 2,000 worth of laptop, and he said, you blame me.
Yes. So you see, when you look at how we run our systems, what that thing that we call supervision is nothing to write home about in our system here. Now, when they give positions to people, whatever they do with the positions, they don't care about it. We do hear some of these stories. Oh, we have given money to these people, and what the money was intended to do, they didn't do it. And you see the leaders are so comfortable. They are okay. Like when they are doing this school feeding, we do hear that the actual food that is being served, the people's, is nothing to write home about. You have media people even going to cover. You will never see a leader making sure that the money I gave is working. That culture, that spirit, it is not here. Now, we have Kirani Ayat came there to talk about it. And this is not the first time we are hearing some of these things. A lot of them, even right under their nose. They are ministers, they are DCs, they are doing things not the right way, but they don't talk about it. We do hear DCs taking properties, some of the cement and everything that it is meant for construction. They don't use it. Have you seen a leader even taking action? Not. They won't do that. So I'm not surprised they will see a billboard and it's everywhere. They don't even care whether everything was done right, because they know at the end of the day, nobody can sue them. You can't even win against them. The gentleman is not ignorant. If you follow the story, he told you that the first day he saw the contract, the lady said, oh, sign it for your money. He said, no, I have to read through. He read through and realized, no, this is not good for me. This is not what I bargained for. Went home. Now, the circumstance that, depending on how we all will feel it. Now, when he went home, the wife said, the woman you went to borrow from is chasing after the money. So this is the case. My dear, the contract, what they are telling me is different from what I bargained with them. Probably I have to get more money because now they are going to use me on TV and billboards. So please, I won't sign. Then wifey will come. Hey, if you are not signing, if we get the 300, at least we can pay the woman. Now it is up to you to agree to what they are offering now, or maybe decide to let go and fight later. As to whether you will fight and win, that one, nobody can tell. So this is a man who needs to make a decision. So going back to the woman or whoever means he has agreed to the terms and conditions. Business done. So that's why I'm saying I don't want to believe he was ignorant, because as a teacher that he was or he is, he knew that I have to read the content.
Then he shouldn't have made the statement that my picture is already there.
No.
Whether I sign or not.
Of course, but
he shouldn't have made that statement.
And if you are in Ghana, you know how these politicians behave. The man is not ignorant of that. He knows that once it is in their power, they have the pictures. No matter what you do, they will use it. So if they will use it and I don't have the muzzle to fire back, why should I even lose the 300? Let me take it, because I went. And that moment, there is an issue at hand. If you can stand that shame or whatever, if you can stand that shame or whatever, or that pain.
No,
I understand.
Then we will bring in who's that timidity. Yeah. Then we'll bring it in. If you want to debunk the knowledge part, then we can bring in the timidity part. Because now, if he had the knowledge that, hey, this thing, no matter what length you go to, if I come out to speak that I have been given a wrong deal or a bad deal, I'm going to get support, he would have come out.
You see? He
would have come out. Knowing it's an election year too.
If that is the case, then we wouldn't have people who we term as vulnerable.
Vulnerable comes out of these two words.
No.
The ignorance and
being vulnerable doesn't mean you are timid.
No,
a circumstance, share. Circumstance can make you vulnerable. Doesn't mean you are timid. Yes, a common do say, no, because Mammy Mo was so baby and son. Nami Mo, do you need officer you're timid? Circumstance, you want to survive.
People are working,
no,
and they are getting some money on the normal day. They will not take that salary. Somebody have charged, and HR has gone to, let's say, the general manager's office and said, Sammy Flex is good. Let's call him. Let him come and do this. Let's give him a contract that every month we will give him 2,000, and then the HR will come to you and tell you he will give you 500. Meanwhile, all your bills and your expenses within the month is 300 Ghana cedis, and you have headache in the house because you don't have a job. At that point, in that circumstance, you will take the 500.
But that one you don't take and blame anybody.
No.
That was what you
you not blame anybody. If the case come out, what will you do?
So don't come and blame anybody.
It's my time.
That one nobody has cheated you. No. But in this guy's case, he has the power to say yes.
You see. People can read and see that you are vulnerable, and they will detect for you. Now, the guy is not fighting for money. The guy's interview is his life under threat. If you watch the interview, he didn't complain that I need more money from the people. His issue now is the fact that other people think your billboard is everywhere, your pictures are being used, you are on TV. So you even have a role to play in the mess that we find ourselves in as a country, because you made us know that you are doing well. You have received something from this government. Remember me, and you made people vote for the government. So they want to go after his life. If you get the guy's message, at the point he knows that once I'm going to have signed, I've agreed to whatever. I don't have any right to come back and complain. He's a teacher. That is why the first place he resisted from signing. And he came back because now circumstances is pushing me to go in. So he understands that now it's done deal. Yes, what can happen now is just the public sympathy. Because now the government knows that he was even, and he said that something that I was even paid 300 cedis, and people want to come for my life. So now that they have heard that of the money that we gave to the agency, this is how much it was given to the people. So if they also have heart, they have conscience, and they are a bit empathetic, they can now come back and say that why this guy Helbert using these billboards also played a role in us winning power. So let's revisit the case, maybe find some small money and give to the gentleman, or also maybe fine security for the gentleman because now it's in the public domain. And this man also helped us. So the billboards are there. When you go, you see them. So to also save their name, because this can also go a long way to affect them. For people to say that, because now people don't talk about the agency. That is one thing we have to take note. They won't talk about the agency because they don't know any agency. All the people know is that MPP contracted a guy to work for them. Whether it was done by agency or whatever, the point is Sammy Flex. Whether you send your boys, they don't care. The name that is in question is the guy and MPP. Now MPP have to go back and revisit to
check
the agency or what happened.
You know, I know, Rich, you can show that poster I put onto the page. One of the NPP stars, this guy is a popular NPP guy. He says, you use faces of individuals to do a big political project like billboards, and all you could pay them is than 1,000 Ghana cedis. That agency is not serious. For all you know, they took huge sums of money from the NPP for this. And you see, they are trying to move away from the blame.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You know the kind of people.
This from them.
The kind of people you are dealing with, and it's normal to them because them now kwaji sika kesiye koye project. No mo de kakra bi akoye. What am I say? So this game they understand it better. That is why they will even supervise. All they care is they sign 200 million for just to buy cocoa for laborers. They sign whether they will buy the cocoa or not. African politician doesn't care.
I think that is also a solid point. That one I agree with Kojo so 100%. Our people, because you see, Kojo, do you know why they don't even? And this is a long conversation. They are not ready to go investigate because even them, the 200 that you come for breakfast for laborers, he is writing 2,000. That's
why I said that's
if you have come for 200 for laborers, he's writing 5,000 or 500. So, but you will check how they are. Because this billboard, maybe the agency paid the agency 2,000 Ghana cedis. Now the agency is saying 1,000, but boy, you know, in the party books, they've written like 5,000.
50,000. So if you
recently a company called me like that to do some influencer job. When they called me and they actually called for my charge, and I quoted a figure that I think, okay, if I take this, I've not lost, I've not won, it's okay within my means. They said, oh, okay, no problem. But you, when the contract comes, write that. It is like this, above what I quoted for. And when they told me plainly that if I write this, which is above what I quoted for, when the money is coming, they will pay me this because they will use this for the agency fee. I said, wow.
Oh,
so such a person.
It is everywhere. Even recently, I had information about Wilderland, and I'm still in shock. Like, it is not something I can add.
Okay.
So you maybe off camera we'll talk about.
Why will question
It's serious.
We go for a deal. We are bringing sponsorship to the DFA. Then he go and create the agency
company,
and he will broker the deal and cut,
percent commission.
It is everywhere in our space.
But let's move on. Let's move on to the next business. The next business is about Arnold Asamoah-Beidou talking about between Shatta Wale and Sarkodie, who has international appeal. And it was all because when Shatta Wale went on Good Evening Ghana with Paul Adumotre, Shatta said something. Shatta said that to him, Sarkodie had so many opportunities to blow big, but maybe he thinks Sarkodie could not use the opportunities well. And according to Arnold, Shatta should not be the one to even say this because he also had opportunity with Beyonce. What did he do with Beyonce? And what is even aching him the more is the fact that Shatta said Sarkodie blew opportunities. And that if we are even to consider who has international appeal between Sarkodie and Shatta Wale, he thinks Sarkodie has it over Shatta Wale. Now I want to open this up for conversation that should we take what Arnold is saying as the facts, or maybe there is something else that we can also put on board to challenge the position that he took on the show. It happened on Peace FM Entertainment Review. Let's watch briefly what he said, then we come back to do the open conversation here on Sammy Flex TV.
What can we be? Oh yes. It's good. It's what can we be? Oh yes. It's good. It's the attorney say he has every right to talk about the PS and the contemporaries, but sometimes when he makes it seem as if say he's Lord, like he sits on top of that place, and then he's seen it and done it all. And he has the opportunity to say, I can easily advise Sarkodie. I can easily advise Kelvin Boy. You understand? Like post an fan.
But the same statement you made some time ago, I think you were with him on Xylophone TV, and I said a one-on-one. The same statement. Me, where I've reached in life, I've reached in this industry. I can easily advise Sarkodie. I can even tell you my guy.
Yes.
Hey, I said me a good remember.
So that is the posture or assuming. And usually, if Obe assumes her posture now, it means I won't know why you need now. Like you've seen it all and you've done it all, until you have every right to actually say so. Based on the fact that we are famous than it, you can easily say, Sarkodie, we win your opportunity and so forth. And I say, one guard crying on you, understand? But he's not there. The fact is, he's not there.
Oh, he's not there.
Wait. I'm coming to the day. Because conversation I hear King has to do with international appeal. International presence. Me boy. Ola. Senyes Beyonce. Ene ba Shatta Wale abrabo mo. Aka international presence kwa virtually na ko nimbi.
That's true.
Enye Beyonce ene ba Wale abrabo mo. Aka virtually no need international presence. To the point where almost everybody was tagging him as a local champion. To the I'm not quite you to Muso a local champion. He would want to satisfy his local audience no more than he doesn't care about international appeal. True or false?
True.
So international presence, they don't know Wale and Beyonce. No, Nibi, there's zero, virtually nothing. Maybe a Jamaica phobia number one or two headlines, but international presence. So, who is Shatta Wale? In terms of, and again, I'm choosing my words carefully. In terms of international presence and appeal to actually question a Sarkodie. Ola.
Yeah.
So yeah, blunt. Near Kano Crepana. When we are talking about Ghanaian artists or more international appeal, arguably Sarkodie is number one.
True.
International appeal, international. Oh boy, right. So who is Wale? Moral rights, Ben Pan, or what to actually question Sarkodie when it comes to international presence? None. No. Again, let's even zoom into the Akon conversation. Where's the proof? Say Akon. I mean.
Well, so that happened last Saturday on Peace FM, hosted by Ola Michael Entertainment Review. And I believe that the conversation is so interesting. Yeah, of course, Arnold will come in with all the energy to defend his points as usual. And I'm asking that, how do we also come in with this? Because Kojo will be excusing us in a jiffy, let me give him the chance to make his point so he can run away. Kojo, how do you come in with this? Should we take this as the point, or maybe have something else to say to also come after this point?
I'm not. I think the position that he is now, whenever he's having a take on Shatta Wale, I think he should tone down and prepare very well, so that it wouldn't come as if because of that tension between them, you always have to come and say something and respond. Because the level that he has attained now people see him as that fine pandit who is intelligent, who knows what he is about. So if you let that take over you, the best part of you, that now you have a feud with Shatta. So whenever he says something, you come back. You may be lowering your bar if it would just be a mere talk. I think if he's talking about international presence between the two, he should give us more evidence or more data for people to have no doubt in their mind.
He shared some of them in his delivery.
I think what he shared is too, is not deep enough. Yes, else people, fanatics will say, okay, because of what you have with us, you are saying that thing just to look better amongst the two, because we all know you are fighting. International, to a point that you say, Shatta Wale, until the Beyonce collabo had no international presence. How do you say that? And I'm surprised this is coming from Arnold. You can do your analysis and see that between Shatta and Sarkodie has a wider international appeal than Shatta when you have laid down all your pointers. But to say, Shatta has had a lot of collaborations out there. And what is international presence? When we talk about something being international, it's about two countries. If you have crossed borders, you have gone international. Shatta Wale has Da Vinci. It's a Boomsha. Those time that he did that song long ago. Cranium and some other Jamaican artists. Before even we talk about Beyonce. If you win international awards, it gives you that international exposure. Platforms that you perform out there, it gives you that exposure. And even the basis is, we are on the internet now. Because of the internet, we are living in a global village. So when you put music online, a lot of people stream your music outside the shores of your country. And that is international. There are a lot of factors. So we can consider awards. We can consider platforms that you've mounted outside your borders. We can look at your international collaborations. So all these things put together, we can say that, okay, a certain artist has attained more than the other. So based on this, we can say this person is getting more international appeal than the other. Even when we go to their streams that we don't even know. Let's say, for all you know, a certain artist is getting more streams from the international market than the one you know. Because that is data. For all you know, the number of countries that streams Shatta Wale's music might be more than that of Sarkodie. And this is international. It is just left for the person to move, to validate that, hey, really people know me. And we've seen that happen to some of our artists. Adina just visited a place and it was
Shatta is that guy so many people are even looking for.
Exactly. This Africa, Liberia and I know some countries that they are dying to meet Shatta Wale. Now, international awards won between the two. Yes, Sarkodie has more. When it comes to international awards, Sarkodie has more than Shatta Wale. Yes, collaborations that I can't talk of, because Sarkodie has a lot of collaborations with artists in Nigeria. He has one with the one that we will accept as out abroad is the one with Epixode. And Shatta has one with Beyonce, which is huge. And when it comes to other countries, yes, Shatta has a lot with some Jamaicans, also with some Nigerians and other part of that. So based on that and platforms, we've seen Sarkodie perform on the BET platform and has gotten some other platforms, even recently the Global Citizens platform. So based on this, and when Sarkodie started getting this international lights, as in winning the BETs and certain awards, I think Shatta Wale hadn't win any major international award. So you can base on that and say, okay, based on this, Sarkodie started getting this attraction earlier than what Shatta has now. But the Beyonce collabo is also great. That collabo is something that got talkability, very intense talkability. So it might not necessarily be the number of years or how long one started. If we're going to go by that, then when Sarkodie get the beat, it's far long ago. And that cannot be said of Shatta. Meanwhile, he has also won some other awards. So what Blacko is doing now, maybe somebody, when you take Blacko and Sark, who is the one who has the most international appeal, people might say it's Blacko. because of what we are experiencing now, and even the magnitude of what we are experiencing. So I want and not to lose sight of the fact that he is a pandit that people revere. So when he is speaking, he shouldn't let that Shatta banter deceive him.
Okay. But what if that is his truth and not the Shatta? Because I know too. If it is like this, you say it is like this. What if it is
is like this?
No. What if he feels it should be like this? He will say it should be like this, not regardless of the banter he has.
Oh, then that will be the enterprise. Like, let me say something that will hurt you,
okay,
but not fact. Okay. Because if you tell me until Beyonce collabo, Shatta had no international presence. That's the statement too. Yeah, but coming from Arnold.
Beyonce collaboration in 2020.
So you see, he's revered. So if such a statement comes from him, I will feel that yes, because of that banter, he just wants to say something to hit him, but not the fact. So he shouldn't let that thing take over him, so that always he will still maintain his space. Because Shatta is seen as that he doesn't care. He will come and shout at you, insult you with your shoes and the things that you wear, and you will win. That is him. But you, people know you for speaking the fact. You are intelligent, you are blah blah. So if not, gradually Shatta is pulling you into his zone. And when you get to that one, he will beat you. He will beat you. Because if Shatta, the fans should now come and give you kind of pointers. The things that Shatta has done, that shows that he has attained that international presence before Beyonce collabo. What will you say again?
I see.
And the fact that we distribute music digitally now. That one alone. That one alone, crap. Because we have unknown artists. Nobody knows them in Ghana, but hey, their music is being streamed in America.
Do you know even on YouTube and Google, Shatta is more popular than any Ghanaian artist?
Exactly.
When the yearly results come, he has been leading.
Yes, even the subscribership and stuff. You see, so Arnold should relax a bit.
Okay, so before you leave me, let me also ask your view about Episode's position, because that will be our next topic, but I won't be here. Episode's position on the judges, on Mentor, and how they reacted to the contestants. Yesterday, we put a question to him, and he defended, or he responded to it. Let's not say he defended.
He was like, at a point in time, organizers came to send them a message that they were delaying, as in the number of minutes they are spending on each participant. So checking the number of over 700 people, they need to reduce the minutes spent on each contestant so that they can be able to screen them. And also, he also said he thought the information was that they are not going to use audition all of them the same day. But now you have to finish 700 in a day. So meaning you have to look at, maybe you have a first thing that you look at, the stronger ones. That is what most of them do. Okay, you are using 1, 2, 3. It is in order of importance. So when you get this thing, you can certify that artist. So now when you come and you strike, and we feel like, okay, you have a wrong choice, that is not giving your focal power, we can just take you away. Exactly. So, but clearly the other point shows that he was not too cool with how her colleague handled the guy's issue. Because you narrated another incident where, in that case, he gave a certain contestant chance again and again. There was a conversation and there was reason given as to why I'm not accepting you, because I don't feel you can just only come as a dancehall artist. This is somebody's event and he's looking at people who are all-rounded. You have to be able to sing at a point, because when you are giving a high life song to perform, you are not coming to sing dancehall, my God. So he gave reasons, and that is okay. But you could see that he wasn't so in support of what Abiana did. But it is understandable. If you have time, you are supposed to finish within a certain time. That means you can't spend so much. And know that you can overspend your time, because an artist can come and
waste your time.
From the background, we know that no, you have achieved whatever you have from production's bench. You have gotten if the guy is okay, we have achieved it, but you know, we can be vibing and unnecessary wasting time. So producers can always come back and tell you, no, Charlie, I think you are spending too much time on people, so that let's do it fast. So I think I give it that point.
Well, thanks so much to Kojo King. He'll be taking leave for us to continue, and I'll be playing Episode's video to you. You've not watched that yet. So I'll be playing that video to you yesterday on CTV when he was asked about Abiana and himself, their conduct on mentor judge seat. How he responded is something we'll be discussing with Nana Regan and Roland as well. Nana Roland will take over. First on the Arnold. Nana Regan, yes. Nana Regan, yes. Nana Regan will take over, and we will talk about the Arnold factor first. The Arnold factor, saying between Sarkodie and Shatta Wale. Shatta Wale does not have that international presence over Sarkodie. Before we will do the episode later. Nana, let's hear from you. What do you also have to say?
This is a bit difficult because before Beyonce's work project with Shatta Wale, we all know Shatta had done some international collaborations or features and all of that. So I'm still, I really wanted Arnold to, I wish he could have pointed out specifically what he is using to do his argument aside the featuring. Because if it is just international featuring, then we all know they've all done features, and that alone is not what we can use to, you know, to say or to argue that this one is doing better than this person. But if before the Beyonce project, I think Sarkodie had, aside the awards and all of that, which we all know that Sarkodie has won more international awards than Shatta Wale. Sarkodie had that big song that was everywhere. Like if you, in terms of, when it comes to the Ghana space, if we are talking about a song that is known really internationally, it was Sarkodie's song, which is the Adonai. It's that song, people were using it to do, I've seen videos from Asia and India and other places like that. But I did not see any Shatta Wale song doing same if we want to match song to song. So on that note, that is before the Beyonce's thing. On that note, I will still give it to Sarkodie. But after, if you say before he wasn't, like he didn't have the international appeal, then a question comes to mind that, okay, how did Beyonce heard about Shatta Wale? And what was the background works that they did before they arrived at, okay, I want to put this guy who is from Ghana on my Lion King project and work with him. If the person is not there, such research or background work would even expose him. There's no way he will even come to mind or agree that, okay, let's work with this guy because he has it. So that is what makes the argument very, very difficult. So I would have expected him that, okay, in his argument, he will state clearly that, okay, in terms of awards, this is why I'm saying Sarkodie is on top than Shatta Wale. When it comes to international featuring, this is the features that they have done. I don't have it in mind to mention it point to point. So if this is what I know, so this is what I'm using to do my argument. So Sarkodie have done ABCD features. Shatta Wale has done ABCD features. Sarkodie have played this and that shows internationally. And this was his numbers, the numbers that he played to. And then this is what Shatta Wale has also done. And then maybe we will also follow up with that. If we want to argue his point, then we will know if you make the argument around just features and BET awards and all of that, it makes it very, very difficult for personally for me to agree with him. Because yes, like I said, aside the Adonai song that was giving me a result, Sarkodie is also known everywhere and all of that. And the BET awards and all those things. There's nothing that I can mention again. There's nothing that I can mention again. And the Beyonce thing is so huge that it is just like a footballer winning league, like a club winning domestic league and domestic cup, and makes goes to win like a Champions League repeatedly. Or a Ballon d'Or. Or a Ballon. It makes, although you have won it over and over again, the domestic cups over and over again, it will make it very difficult for you to argue that you are superior when it comes to the international fronts. No. It will be that argument there, it will be very, very difficult. Because what we know in Europe is the Champions League. So if you want to really brag, then you should win the Champions League for us to know that, okay, when we are talking about European clubs, then you are also mentioned. But if you've not done it before, that's a big question. So I think the Beyonce thing alone is like a huge thing for.
So do you want to say that it supersedes everything?
Yeah, I can say that. Even though it is not somebody who that's what I'm telling you, that somebody's career life, you can win every right now if I am very, very sure that Sarkodie has a certain artist in mind that he wishes to feature or to get the person on his song. And if he gets that person on his song, he might even feel relaxed in his career. Just as Shatta Wale is relaxed, and sometimes he's trying to lead the pace, not for any reason, but because he feels like on your God the snackers and kasakra maybe what next. Sometimes that's how I see it. That's how I see it. But I mean, let's do the argument proper. If you really want to go into it, because when Kojo was talking, I was trying to get some details, and the only details I'm getting is still the international awards won by Sarkodie. In fact, if you put Sarkodie's awards together, it is Shatta Wale doesn't come close when in terms of the hand. So if it is just the awards and the features, then let's properly state let's open it wide, and we will know what we are dealing with.
See. Well, Ro, what do you also have to say? We'll come back to look at the last one and run away.
Sammy, when we are talking about international appeal, it comes in different forms, and I would have wished that my senior brother Arnold would have given us enough details or the data in which he was using to make his argument. Because international appeal comes with your performance, one, comes with your streaming numbers, even in our current times, two, and also has to do with the awards that you have, including features. So with that said, I when it comes to awards, if he makes his argument based on the fact that until 2020, when Beyonce featured Shatta Wale, he had no international presence, then I would say he wasn't fair to Shatta Wale, because even prior to 2020, Shatta Wale had won the Iroma Awards, and I don't even remember Iroma being held in Ghana or being a Ghanaian event.
No, it is not.
So if this guy has won it about 2 or 3 times, and we still want to say aside the Beyonce feature, he had no international presence, then I think he's just being petty with that argument. If that is his argument, he's just being petty, because even prior to even winning the Aroma, man has had international collaborations. He's had international collaborations, even on the fact that he's been being the lead artist on even certain albums internationally. So if you say he had no international, like 0 international presence, then you are not being fair, if that is your argument. But I want to also tackle it in this way. If the reason why he's saying that when it comes to who has more international appeal, this is a non-starter. You can't argue that Sarkodie has more than Shatta Wale currently. But the impulse of whatever he was using his argument for was the fact that he thinks Shatta Wale, based on what he's saying, doesn't have the moral right to advise Sarkodie. And that is where I say that Arnold had just shot himself in the foot. You see,
when he said
because Sarkodie has more international appeal than Shatta Wale. Shatta Wale doesn't have the moral right to advise Sarkodie. That is where he just shot himself in the foot.
But that's what artists have been saying all the time.
So
even if you don't have money than I have, you cannot advise me.
The reason why I'm saying Arnold shot himself in the foot is the fact that
when Shatta Wale said he doesn't have the word he has and that he doesn't have the moral right to advise him, Arnold said he was being inconsistent and confused. And Shatta Wale shouldn't start his argument that way. So if you also come and make that same example, then what are you doing? In another sense, you say somebody shouldn't use that as a yardstick to make an argument. But you are using that to make your argument. Because, okay, let's say Shatta Wale has not been able to make anything out of that Beyonce feature. Shatta Wale has no international presence. Let's accept it as he's saying like that, okay? If we are to go by that, so he's also trying to say that because of that, Shatta Wale doesn't have any right to advise Sarkodie. Is that what he's saying? That's what he meant. If that's what he meant, then we should stop. Then let's stop this. Then let's cut it. Because if we are talking about features, that is how come Sarkodie will come and say that Unko BBC, I don't come and advise him. And if he has problem, and if Arnold had problem with that statement, then he should yes, run about. If Arnold had problem with that statement, then he shouldn't come and say Shatta Wale has no moral right to advise
even the
Sarkodie.
streaming,
Because
sometimes, sorry to cut you, the streaming argument with YouTube and the DSPs and all those things, sometimes I think people just make that argument out of assumption. One, you don't have Sarkodie's back end to know, okay, in his analytics, this streaming is coming from USA. This is the number that is coming from London. This is the number. Because somebody can have 1 million views on YouTube and you check in about 80% or 85% of the views is Ghana. You understand? So if you use that thing to make that international appeal argument, when you don't put out those facts and data, then I don't know what kind of argument you are making.
You see, and let me wrap up this way. You see, when if Arnold is saying because Shatta Wale has no international presence, he has no moral right to advise Sarkodie, I ask myself, even in his statement, he said Shatta Wale has lots of experience. He was there even before Sarkodie came. So this is somebody, if not for anything at all, at least based on his experience, he has some level of right to even tell you how to live your life.
And experience is dope.
Yes.
Experience, like I keep saying, money cannot buy.
Until Ubeka said, it's like I'm not telling me that, okay, because my dad just was able to build a single room, he nurtured me, or even if he did not take care of me, I have come to build a story building. So my dad has no moral right to advise me as to how to live my life. That is the kind of argument or example he's trying to make, which is very unfair in any sense. So yes, if we are talking about who has more international appeal, even off head, you can pick Sarkodie over Shatta Wale. But that is not to say that he still doesn't have a moral right to advise Sarkodie, because I think he was trying to use Shatta Wale talking about the Wizkid and Sarkodie convert conversation. It is a brofuna ontia. Yes, that is it. No, there are clear examples. The way Arnold Ewu said, Shatta Wale has not made anything out of the Beyonce collaboration. That is the same spectacle Shatta Wale is also seeing, that perhaps if Sarkodie had joined Convict, like Wizkid did, maybe he would have been like Wizkid by now. It is the same example. And one I want to.
Well, this is a bigger discussion about international appeal and international presence, because between both artists, even in Ghana, when you come to Ghana, you mention two top artists. I'm sure these names are likely to come up.
Yes, and the arguments will
Sarkodie, Shatta Wale, they are likely to come up. So to know who is doing what where is another thing, because if not for anything, everywhere that Shatta Wale has played internationally, he succeeded. Everywhere Sarkodie has also played internationally, he succeeded.
So that is what I'm saying.
So if you are bringing data or facts and you don't go into details, you do your listeners great disservice, because and you make the argument as petty as your friend is saying Shatta Wale before Beyonce feature. That is a very petty way crowd back in the argument.
Okay, so let's wrap up on this discussion.
Remember what happened at TV3 when Epixode and Abiana were judges for TV3's Mentor for this year? We asked Epixode about his reaction, about what is happening, and he said this. We'll go watch it. When I come back, I pick the views of my people. Kojo Kim has already spoken on it. I pick the views of Nana Reagan and Roland, and we'll run away from here. Watch it. I'll be back. My question is, Epi, so we watched the first one.
Yes.
Where your colleague judge was, you are out. And we watched the second one, where you tried to point out what the guy was doing wrong, give him another chance to come clear, yet he was still not getting it. Then you told him next year.
Yes.
Which one is right for a judge for an audition like this?
I think for me, I'll speak for myself. I can't speak for Abia.
I know.
You see, everybody who, or if any contestant could come out and speak about my relationship to them, they would see
Why
that.
is Kojo crying?
You would see that. They will tell you that I am the guy who walks out of the audition to just come and encourage them. I'm the guy who has a water standing by, that when you come on stage and you're nervous, I tell you to calm down, come, take water, relax before you sing. But the thing is, because it is a singing competition, some of these artists don't believe or they don't understand that you would not survive. You know, TV3 has done this over the years, so you would know the kind of talents that they put in the house. Some people are not even good vocally, but because they can entertain, they're pushed in there. And then I was always giving reference to the guy who won last year, who is DSL, a very straight, hard dancehall artist. But I made him understand that, bro, listen, this is the way to win the people. Can you do something else apart from dancehall? Because you'll be given tasks. Imagine you're given a ballad song to do. How are you going to approach it? You know? So me telling him that, do something different. Even if he has an he would
have convinced you.
Exactly. Because you're coming on a national TV, which the rural areas would even be more impactful with votes and stuff.
Were you comfortable with how Abiana did her thing?
Okay, so I didn't see anything wrong as at that moment. What I think that was wrong is how they didn't show previous ones. Now, we are sitting there as judges, started slow, trying to keep these guys. And TV3, the guys told me that we are wasting time. I'm not saying
the directors
this,
of the show.
Yes, because now you have over 700 people. But somebody comes, sing for the first time, and then you go like, can you try another thing? The person tries, oh, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Can you start? It means that you're wasting time. And you have to finish because they're not postponing the auditions. So then they decided that, guys, if somebody comes in and then the person is not up to these people that you have already, because this time around, I don't think they're going to boot camp. They're not going to boot camp. So the selection they make from there, they're going straight to the show. So there's no time for long auditions. And I think the auditions were supposed to be the day we auditioned and then 2 days after. But they canceled that. So it means that we had to deal with all the people there. From there, they select 35 out of 700. Bring the ones from Kumasi, Takrade, and do grand audition and select 12. So if you don't meet that, and proud to whoever came, you should know that somebody can't kill before you come. So if you don't match that standard, definitely. And the question is, I would just want to ask a question. If the boy is actually granting interviews right now, he's a star. Now, if the boy was Kiddy, and Kiddy was supposed to appear on an audition like that, and sounded like that, would he have been okay with it? That is the question. Because
would Kiddy?
Would he? I'm saying that if he was Kiddy, and then Kiddy shows up as a young artist for
to sing his song,
exactly. And listening to the boy's interview, he said that he knows that he can sing. He just has energy on stage. But it is a singing reality show.
All right, so in watching this, is episode looking like Raskuku or something? Because at the point I was seeing some Raskuku sitting there. Okay, Rose, so you were in the studio. What do you think about episode's response, as in reaction, defense, any of them to what happened at the TV3 mentor judge?
Basabe, let's call a spade a spade. In fact, episode has said whatever he feels, and me, I agree with him. The first point has to do with how judges treat contestants, okay?
Exactly.
And how contestants should also approach whenever they are going in for a competition. Me, I always say that the fact that it is a competition is 50% clear in your face that there is a possibility this wouldn't be fair.
Okay.
The earlier you put this in your mind, the better for you. Because it is a competition, whether fair or you may be going in fairly, but somebody is coming in buga.
Someone has prepared more
yes.
than you might have prepared.
Exactly. So whatever the case may be, psych yourself as if, okay, this is not the end for me. That is for contestants. And whenever they are choosing judges for competitions or judges for some of these reality shows, you always see that there is always a cocktail. There is somebody that goes hard on anything that you do. And there's that one person that is always soft and will give you another chance. I think in this instance, Abiana has taken her position already, and episode also took the softer side, which is also good. So in that sense, you see, in episode's response to Abiana's approach to the contestant, he gave a very political response. Oh yes.
He said we should have watched some previous episodes.
No, that is not even my focus. He said that I didn't see anything wrong as at that time.
Yeah. I remember. He said that.
I didn't see anything wrong as at that time.
Yeah.
But upon reflection,
maybe now he's seen something.
Yes, he realized that, because you see, when you watch the video again, the moment Abiana started clapping, crack. Episode as at that time, nani TSC for more. He was, I think, taking some things to tell. So the moment he raised and Abiana said, out, you are not ready.
Yeah.
Yes. And he said was like, oh.
He looked at her.
Yes.
Said,
You understand? So I think he clearly was not in agreement with Abiana. But because of the relationship he has with Abiana, one, and where they sit as judges, two, and the rules of the game. There are rules of the game that even goes beyond the judges. And that is what I want some of these people, the contestants or the participants, to understand. That sometimes you may see that, okay, this is the format of probably this is the demeanor of this judge. So if I am able to appeal to him this way, maybe he can cut me and I would go into the competition. But sometimes the judges' hand, no matter how empathic or whatever they may be, their hands are tight. So much that no matter how you strike them, at a point they would have no other choice than to sign you out. It happened at I think Ghana's Most Beautiful, where a contestant felt, I think one of the contestants, they had to kick her out prior to the finals, and it caused a whole confusion. There are people who started threatening the organizers and all that. This goes beyond the judges, which is what some people should understand. Me, I think episode did great on his task. Okay. Looking at the circumstances that
with the way he interacted
with
the gentleman.
The gentleman. I'm not saying that Abiana should have gone the same way. Obviously, they both don't have the same demeanor or the same temperament. The way I would approach something is different from the way Nana Reagan will approach if he has the same situation. Okay. But then, we will all plead with our judges that sometimes, as far maybe even though like episode is saying, the guy is now seem to be famous, going for interviews and all that. Charlie, it is not everybody's psyche who is strong like the guy. Somebody, you approach him that way and you break him forever. Somebody, you are able to do it, and just like Abiana, who is a living testimony of that instance, she was able to do something out of it. But the thing is that it is not everybody that will be able to make something out of whatever treatment you are giving them. So sometimes when you are approaching, as much as we want to advise the contestants to sag their mind to know that this is a competition and it will not always favor you, we will also plead with our judges to know that, Charlie, some people don't have the experience you have. Some people don't even know the
They don't even have the mental fortitude.
Exactly.
To take some particular
decisions, and sometimes you have to be you need to take certain decisions on spot on, like at that particular time, and even some people can't prepare, and looking at the situation or the circumstances in the environment, they lose focus and they have to quickly change or sometimes adapt. So we will also plead with our judges that yes, some people don't come as prepared as you want them to be. And sometimes, just like we always find our colleagues in class, in the normal classroom, there are some people that the moment you write A, they know, they grab it and go. There are some people you have to push them until they get it. So if you are able to understand people with this kind of demeanor and stuff, you will be able to read and know how to approach them.
I agree. Nana Reagan, finally on this.
I think Episode's response or reactions has exposed a lot of errors that are going on in mentor. I mean, I think it is an error for the organizers knowing very well their time schedule to take a certain number of participants, knowing very well you cannot audition them within that time. It is so wrong. Maybe yes, somebody will argue with business because you want to, let's say, because you want more people to register and then you cash out. You want
be happy with the numbers.
You don't care with the time, but when after registering them and making that money, you are now restricting the time for audition, which is not fair.
My forms are sold.
Yes.
It's not free.
Yes, they buy forms.
Hey, wow.
So
and they got 700.
So what it means is that, and I also don't see why they should even go and tell the judges when they were auditioning that time. They are wasting time. What time did you give them from the beginning? At least you should be straightforward with them that, okay, each person has 3 minutes, each person has 2 minutes. Yes. So the judges are dealing with each person with 2 minutes.
Yes. So within the 2 minutes, even if you come your first attempt and you're not able to score,
exactly.
Because you are within your 2 minutes, you still give the chance.
You understand?
We know that
so you don't leave the judges to do their thing and then knowing very well now the thing is backfiring against you. Now you want to push them to do some of the things. So you see, Abiana, the other day I was saying here that Abiana's reaction was so fake as a judge. You see, if you want to put up such character that when it comes to judging talent, you are the hardcore, you are the hot ones, you are this person is the cold one. It shouldn't come out of the directives of the organizers like there's no time, so do this, there's that. No. It should come out of your experience and how you have built yourself. So I laugh when people argue with the excuse of Simon Cowell and all of that. This is somebody that has been like a talent scout for over years, become a music executive officer. He has recorded artists and done distributions on all that. So this person knows that, okay, if I'm being hot with you with your image brand, I know what I'm saying. If I'm being so hard on you with your vocal delivery, I know what I'm saying. You understand? It shouldn't be like because they say there is no time, then let's dramatize the whole thing. But hey, you're posting a trendy. I mean, we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't do that at all. It's so. I mean, this response cry is even making me sad for those the participants who went there for the audition. I mean, this is not fair. You should know that, okay, if we have only 2 days, with your experience with mentor, you should know that, okay, 2 days there we can audition about 300 people. We can audition about 500 people. Stick to that number. So even in selling whatever forms or whether even the registration is free and you are doing it, when you hit that number, you close it. You don't wait for it to people will keep coming, and then on the day that you have to get time and make sure you are auditioning them properly with those technical things, then you say because we don't have time, we are in a hurry, so Obano sing, quiet, go home, go, don't sing that, go home, go home. That is like elimination by rough tactics, and it's not nice. So how would people even take the, you see, they should be careful if this is what is happening to the Black Stars now. The reason why today Black Stars is playing any match, people don't even have the passion and the zeal to go and support them and be doing those what we were doing in the 90s. Is that it's about their winning bonus and not about anybody. So if TV3 will put all the entire focus on their business gains. I'm not saying they are not doing, they are doing business. But if you make it obvious that, Charlie, it's about us and not about you, those supporting, those watching, that passion will be taken away. Because they also feel like, it's about what they want and not how they will treat you or how you will be treated. So if they really want us to get that enthusiasm when we were having it in Mentor 1, Mentor 2, where everybody will close from work and traffic, there will be rush hour to go home and go and watch Mentor and all of that, then some of these things need to be checked. They need to put things in place with auditions and all of that. Recently, there have been stories of winners of Mentor not going anywhere, not even getting what they were promised and all of that. The other day, I think it was, I don't know if it was on Class Showbiz or Showbiz Daily. I saw Akosia, Mentor 7 winner, commenting when some of these issues were being mentioned. I think somebody was making a submission and then she came to mention and then she went away.
It means she has some things.
Yes, I know that girl for when she won Mentor 7. I lived with her for some months, so I know what she went through with what was supposed to be given to her, what the promises, recordings, and blah blah blah. That today she's a makeup artist.
Wow, the music dream is dead.
Yes, it's dead. She's a maker. She's a mother of one now and a wife and a makeup artist. But this is somebody that was discovered and can sing.
Yeah.
But so if we want to be doing this at some point in time, people will feel like, so people will not support the thing.
Like
yes, you understand. So they should check those things. As for Abiana, if she is really going to be a judge on Mentor, this particular edition, she should be herself. That is the advice I'll give her. She shouldn't act. She should cut the drama because she thinks she's on TV or she's on Mentor, and that has been the record of Mentor. Somebody has to be harsh, and then people are using Mark and Dominic as a. Be yourself. You can't be the next Makokreku Mante. You can only be Abiana. So be yourself. If you are judging anybody and you want to be hard on the person, come hard on the baby. Be objective. Let us know that, okay, I am being hard on the person because of A, B, C, D, and nobody will have any issues with you.
Even if they don't agree with you, you've
stated your reason. So the person that doesn't agree with you can bring a counter argument, and that's the end of the story.
Well, we wish them well. They are all still young musicians, and some of these experiences will go a long way to inform them on their decisions later on when they get another opportunity like that. And on this note, I want to say thanks for being a part of today's edition of Showbiz Daily right here on Sammy Flex TV. And I'm saying thanks to Kojo King, who left us earlier because he has other engagements that he has to go finish. Nana Reagan, Beef Nation President, and Roland Amate, as well as the guys behind the scenes. The Yeta Rasta is currency on camera, Richie Flex, editor, director of the show, Emmanuel Forila PG, the producer, and Gideon D. Lampterson as our creative director. I've seen so many people asking me about whether our Dubai tour will be happening because of the stories they are seeing that Ghana and other African countries have been banned from entering Dubai. It is not banned. It is about restrictions on their visas. What they are doing is that if you want to go to Dubai, like the last trip we did to Dubai, they only gave us or issued 1 month visa. But, you know, they don't want to do the 1 month visa anymore. So at least you take 3 months. That's what they are going to do now. Like UK, anytime you are likely to get a UK visa automatically 6 months multiple, you can go in and out anytime you want. So they also want to cancel the 1 month visit as in tourist visa. So they can give you 3 months. So the cases of overstaying will not be plenty. Because when you go to Dubai, so many people have overstayed.
So February, if I go out and I'll have to spend like 1 week. They will give me like 3 months.
Yes,
so I can come back after the 1 week.
Oftentimes it is not multiple. Oftentimes
it is just one.
It's not multiple. Yes, oftentimes that's what I know. I don't know whether the new law will make it multiple, but oftentimes it's just one entry. So the 3 months, if you come out of it, it is dead. But you can stay there for 3 months. For 3 months.
Oh, okay.
That is the explanation I'm getting, and not the fact, because someone sent me a message.
Send them a check.
Someone sent me a message and asked me that, oh, Sammy, so what does it mean that we cannot do the trip? And I said, no, we can do the trip. Guys, hurry up and give me the advert. I beg you. I'm waiting for the advert so it can start running for people to know. Nothing small. In fact, our best fear or our worst fear is the dollar and not the visa. Our worst fear is the dollar and not the visa, because the dollar is there. It costs me there. A very low. I'll see you tomorrow. When I see you, be good. My name is Sammy Flex. Let's do this again some other time. Yeah, out.